lot of people dream of studying abroad. It sounds like an amazing opportunity to see the world, build a better future and enjoy more freedom. But while we're all excited about this new experience, we often don't realize how tough it can be to leave home and start over in a new country. It's not until you're actually here that you see the full picture. But if you can prepare ahead of time and avoid unnecessary struggles, why not, right? So if you're thinking about studying, working, or moving abroad, I want to share the challenges I face and some practical tips to help you to navigate them. Hopefully this will make your transition a little smoother than mine. Let's be real, living abroad, especially in places like Australia, is very expensive. Besides tuition fees, you also have to budget for rent, transport insurance, textbook and also daily expenses. If your family is supporting you financially, you'll also have to deal with currency exchange rates. Using Malaysian ringgit to sustain a life overseas is not easy. Every time you spend money, you'll probably find yourself thinking, this meal alone costs as much as 3 meals back at home. It's really a tough habit to break, especially as a student, when every cent counts. But over time, once you start working and get used to higher cost of living, things start feeling more manageable. Your expenses will also depend on your lifestyle choices. For example, renting a room in a shared house is much more cheaper than getting your own apartment. And rent prices vary depending on location. If you live further from the city, you also need to factor in transport costs. Should you buy a car or rely on the public transport? If you buy a car, there are additional expenses like registration fees, maintenance, fuel, and also charging costs if you're using an electric vehicle. And also insurance and also parking. On the flip side, living closer to work or school could save you a lot on transport. Food is another big one. How much does it cost to eat out versus cooking at home? If I go back, I'll definitely ask seniors who have lived here for a while about budgeting before moving. If you're thinking about working part-time to help cover costs, keep in mind that it depends on your workload. For me, studying medicine was already super intense, so finding time to work was very tough. Also, student visas usually have work hour restriction, so a part-time job wouldn't fully cover your expenses. So that's why learning how to budget before moving abroad is very important. And while you're adjusting to the high cost of living, here are some money saving tips that really helped me. So first thing is cooking at home. As we all obviously know, eating out is really pricey, but cooking saves money and is usually healthier as well. The other thing is, if you're considering buying textbook, buy a second-hand textbook. New ones are crazy expensive, so check out second-hand stores, ask senior or borrow from the library. The other thing is you can use student discounts. Many places offer student discounts including public transport, museums, cinemas and even some restaurants, so don't miss out. These are all the small habits that can help you save a lot and also make your life much more easier. The other thing that we need to think about is being overseas can be lonely and also there'll be culture shock. No matter how much you look forward to moving out and enjoy the freedom, I can almost guarantee that at some point you'll start missing home. Living alone can feel great at first. No one to tell you what to do, there's no curfew, and you have complete independence. Many of my friends love the newfound freedom, but after a while, loneliness and this weird feeling of emptiness starts to creep in. Suddenly, there's no one waiting for you at home, no one to eat with, and when something exciting happens, there's no one to share with. And on the bad days, you just have to deal with it alone. This is something you won't fully understand until you experience it. Back home, meals magically appeared on the table. Now, even if you're exhausted, you still have to figure out what to eat. Some days, I was so drained that I'll just eat a bread for a dinner. Holidays are especially tough. While your friends and family are celebrating back home, your surroundings stays exactly the same. That contrast hits really hard. Watching everyone gather together while you're stuck overseas, sometimes working or studying, can feel so isolating. So this happened recently during Chinese New Year. I can't go home, I can't go back to Malaysia, and I have to stay in Australia because I have to work. You'll also start missing your old friends, the one who just get you without you having to explain. Making new friends in a foreign country takes time, and as we get older, works and study leave us very less energy for socializing. I don't know if anyone also feel this way, but making deep connections seems harder as we grow up. Actually, it also depends on your personality. Some people that I know can easily make friends from different culture, while other people prefer sticking with those from similar backgrounds because it's just easier to relate. Another thing that I noticed in Australia is that after work, most of the shops close by 5 p.m. So there aren't many places to go compared to Malaysia. In Malaysia, there's always shopping centers, there's so many things to do after work. You still can go shopping with your friends and eat outside and have supper at night after work with your friends. But here, after 5 p.m, there's just no shops open anymore except for bars and stuff like that. And the other thing is you'll find yourself spending more time alone, which can actually be a good thing. You start picking up hobbies like gym, writing. Like for me, I do content creation now to fill your time. Because you have so much time with yourself, you start understanding yourself better. You'll have to be self-disciplined and also independent when you live in overseas. Living abroad sometimes forces you to be more self-disciplined. If you don't, life can quickly become chaotic. You also get hit with the reality of adulthood very fast, like that. Renting a place, setting a bank account, paying bills, and handling random life problems all become your responsibility. Back home, you could just ask your parents or friends for help. Here, you're on your own. Sometimes you only learn by making mistakes, you know. I've made them a lot. You realize that time management is very important. You need to balance studying, working, cooking, and resting. Budgeting is really a must if you're living alone. You can't just spend however you want. If not, you're left with nothing to spend at the end of the month and you have to eat bread every day. You just have to learn how to take care of yourself. Being overseas is already difficult and you might feel lonely all the time. And if you're sick, no one is going to be there to remind you to take your medicine or check on you. When I first came to Australia, I just take everything for granted. So I thought I'll do good. I thought I will be used to it very fast. I'm gonna be, came here, I'm gonna live a very good life, you know. And at the end, it's not what I expected. That's why I decided to make this video so that you guys won't end up like me. It's just very important to take care of yourself when you're alone. And with time, you will realize that problem solving will become your second nature. From rental issues to banking and visa matters, you'll learn how to learn all these things when you're overseas alone. You will also spend a lot of time alone. At first, it might feel a little bit uncomfortable for some of y'all, but eventually you start reflecting on life more. You start thinking about what do I really want in life, what are my goals, and how do I plan my future. This phase can be confusing and challenging, but it helps you grow. You become more independent, more responsible, and more resilient. Challenges that once seems impossible become things you handle with ease, and you realize you're more stronger than you thought. So studying abroad isn't just about academics, it's a whole life experience. You grow, become more independent and self-disciplined, but also go through loneliness, challenges, and major adjustment. If you're thinking about moving abroad, being mentally prepared is the key. It's not always glamorous, but every struggles will make you a stronger, more mature version of yourself. I hope this video helped you to have a clearer idea of what to expect. If you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment down below. We can chat and share experience over there. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll be sharing more about studying, life, and personal growth. See you in the next video.